All right. IELTS listening is the most scoring module comparatively to overall IELTS exam, right? So, for example, if any student is, can achieve 5.5, 6.5, or whatever is your level, in IELTS listening, you can achieve plus score. For instance, for example, what I mean to say, if you are 5.5 band student, you can achieve good score and IELTS listening like approximately 6, 6.5 plus more. Now, but first thing is to understand the strategy. Second thing is to do well practice from the proper source to incline your score. Now, we first talk about our strategy, the listening one, like what would be there in listening in simple words shortly. And then we will discuss some of the basic clues, the points for IELTS listening improvement. One thing I would repeat, and I would uh, say you again to all of you that if your level in any single module is, for instance, if we talk about IELTS listening, for example, you think your level is 6 and you can achieve approximately, you can make MCQs correct 24 or 25, but you need 5.5. So you should work a little more and IELTS listening to incline your level more and to get 28, 29. That's easily achievable in IELTS listening. So do work a little more harder. If any module you think you are more confident on yourself and you think you can get easily good score in that. By the way, in IELTS listening, there are 4 audios, right? And in those 4 audios, in each audio, there is, the number of questions, total 10, 10 and 10 in section 3 and 10 in section 4. The test is of 26 to 30 minutes, sometimes, right? 27 minutes. Now, in this 26, 27-minute 4 audio tests, there are different conversation in each audio. Comparatively to other parts, section 1 is the easiest part in overall IELTS exam, either reading, speaking, or writing, right? Now, what will be there in this section number 1? You see there will be telephonic conversation. We call it telephonic conversation, right? Because two people, two participants talk with each other on telephone, right? Now your mind will be ready that I'm going to listen telephonic conversation between two people. What they will talk on, what will be the topic? The topic will be any society related, any general topic. Now, the topic will be general, the topic will be society related, that will be telephonic conversation between two people, right? Now, further, there will be table completion question in IELTS listening section number 1. In table completion question, the most easiest question in IELTS exam, again, I'm repeating this kind of question. Let me show you here. Yes, 1 minute. You see such question like this. Let me take it out. Yeah. On the left side of the screen, you can see table completion question. In 90% situation, you get this kind of question, and you have to just write the exact correct options answer. So, and for this, if you do a little practice, your target should be 10 out of 10 in IELTS listening section number 1. In section 2, you listen one person, and that one person is called monologue discussion, and monologue discussion about awareness, about any social announcement, any schedule, any training, any tourism. A kind of variety of topic can be discussed by the one person, and again there will be 10 MCQs or 10 choosing option question, or 5 choosing option question, 5 question from table, sorry, this map diagram, right? But again, section number 2 is also not tough. It is also up to average level, right? You can do it the best. Section 1, the easiest. Next, we will move to section 4. That is also the easiest. Talking about section number 3, a little challenging, but students get very good score after doing practice, not only from Cambridge books, right? You see only Cambridge books. So those are not enough for reading and listening especially, right? If you stick to reading and listening only to Cambridge book, yeah, they are having a little, challenging words, vocabulary. Along with that, you can see the structure of IELTS Cambridge books is exactly similar to the IELTS exam pattern. But you need to go through some other sites. I will recommend you right now of within the mid of the lecture. Now in section number 3, what will be there? There will be two students, or there will be two students and one tutor, one teacher. They will talk with each other regarding what? Regarding education, regarding academic topic, regarding scientific research, regarding any approach, course, history, any kind of discussion that will be based on academic education, right? Second thing, one thing, if any student will be confused, IELTS listening is 100% same for IELTS academic student and general student, right? There is no difference between IELTS listening and IELTS speaking in any single question. It's 100% same. The difference is a little between reading, the passage is different, question is same, right? Like passage 1, if you talk about that. And if you talk about IELTS writing section, so question number 1 is different. Now, in section number 4, you listen one person presenter and he talks about again education, any education related discussion. He will share any information like a kind of again science related information or any such topic he will talk about, where you will get a kind of animals regarding information or any other science related information, education related information will be shared by one person. Now, section 3, a little challenging, but why? In section number 3, you see a kind of question like choosing option. But here, as I mentioned, that you will face 2 to 3 participants, sometimes 2 students, sometimes 3 students, right? Talking with each other. Now, what the problem the students face, we will talk about that in details by tomorrow. Oh my God, 1 minute, let me fix it. Yes, is the voice clear now?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, sorry for the inconvenience. Now, in section number 3 here, uh, you see the choosing option question, and in choosing the option question, the problem occurs is very simple. Like when two participants talk to each other, we will discuss right now in the basic points. You have to focus on that in point. When two participants talk to each other, the basic issue can be created like either one agree or both agree with each other. Now, when one agrees on a single topic, perception, and another student does not agree, so we will not go for that option, right? In choosing option question, two participants or 3% talking to each other, they all should agree on one single option, and we will choose that exact option. Further, we will discuss in details regarding section number 3, a little challenging tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Section 3, I'm planning to focus more on this part, while section 1 and 2 are easier, so we might go through that right now. Now, in section 3, you can see such kind of variety of question. On the left side, choosing option. In choosing option, the exact information, one strategy, one technique I will tell you right now. The exact words whenever the speaker in section number 3, two participant or 3, when they talk to each other and they share one option, is like, for example, this is question: the students agree that food manufacturers deliberately what? Deliberately make calorie, deliberately fail to provide a correct calorie, deliberately use ineffective methods to reduce calories. Now, the one technique that what is the right option, if they share 2 or 3 more exact words of any option, that is absolutely not the right option, right? So in IELTS reading and listening, this is the strategy that they do use in your IELTS exam. So the right one will be the option, the one which words will be 100% synonymized or at least 90% synonymized. One word can be taken from that, but other words will be 100% synonymized. So go for that. When you go for IELTS listening section 3, you must be aware and care about that. Okay, now we talk about general points, basic points, some of the basic discussion in IELTS listening. Then we will go through some interesting ways and points and discussion in the class. Now, before the test, as we discussed, test format is clear to you. What is the second step? Practice different English accents. I will recommend you only this British accent. And what is that like from which site you can do? I will share after the class before the class, I also shared with within the boys group, and with female students I shared and passed, right? By the way, a BBC, you can go through that. You can also go through BBC English learning channel. You can go through some others for British. If you go only through one accent, that is also 100% okay, right? But I will suggest you one another interesting thing. If your target is Australia or British England, your future target, go for British accent. If your target is USA or Ireland or Canada, or these Finland or Netherlands or Switzerland, go for American accent, because these all countries follow American accent. And British accent, the most you can say advanced one, because the English roots are from there. Australia follow 100%, rather 95 90% British accent. If you compare the accents, the words, by the way, and that is the suggestion is for your future goal target, so you should not face any difficulty and discussion and understanding and interview and other kind of activities when you go there, inshallah, with good luck. But right now, if you become habitual and you become easy to directly pick the information of either British accent or American accent, especially these two, other Australian accent, if you also listen sometime Australian news, just find out, when you keep the target, one is the target. Like, this is my target. I have to achieve in 30 days or 60 or whatever. Now, in this specific time, try to decline the usage of, all those sites which just eat the time from you. We just, consume the energy from you and consume your hours and your day and night. So try to be affiliate yourself with those channels. I don't think so that my voice will be breaking right now. Other students, Safir, Heather, voice is fine, okay, right now? Melisua,
Yes, sir, everything is fine. Service issue.
service issue where?
आपकी सर्विस सर आपकी सर्विस का इशू नहीं है, उसकी सर्विस का इशू है जो ये
All
मैसेज
right,
कर
all right, all right. Okay. All right. Just rejoin. Whoever is facing problem, rejoin. Now, we were talking about the accent understanding. So this is in nowadays when you do practice, guys, there was one student from one of the city of Pakistan from Sialkot. He came to me just for one meeting. And he was a student of 5.5. I gave him just in a single meeting. I also took his test as a analysis of his level, and I gave him 5.5. He got, I think, almost 5.5 or 6 in speaking part. While for listening, I just gave him, like, for 5.5 level student, I gave him suggestion to listen other kind of channels, and he went through BBC for almost 15 to 20 days. He got 7 in his in IELTS listening easily. So 5.5 level in other modules, he got 7. And similar kind of same students, like of different band level, they got very good score by listening different activities. Now I tell you the logic behind that. In IELTS listening, we are right now in this week we will discuss and concern only with the IELTS listening part, right? Now in IELTS listening, the interesting strategy is that students, when they listen, because of non-native tongue, because of second language, English is called ESL second. Now, because of second language, because of non-native tongue, when we do listen it, sometimes our mind wander here and there in ideas. We confuse that either the question is the similar one in which we are giving the focus, or the person, the speaker, has jumped to any second question. Now, the moment when we get confusion, such kind of, it is only because of not listening on daily basis to this second language. For example, let me give you a very simple example. If you listen your own native tongue, for Pakistani national tongue, for Madagascar people right now, those who are here, if you listen your French language, right, or your own language, so that will be 100% understandable to you. Why? Because you listen that daily basis, on daily basis. Now, same goes for IELTS listening strategy. Logic is that if you listen other channels, other things, and IELTS listening, or sorry, same goes for reading and listening too. In IELTS listening, if you listen other things of English, of native speakers, especially not other non-native, native speakers, podcast and these things, like whatever is your interest level, go for that. And try to listen it in fast speed. You will see in 1 week, 2 weeks, you are understanding and picking power of listening MCQs and correct options and choosing option. It will incline. For instance, if it is like now 22 or 23, that is equivalent to 6 band, it will jump to 30, 28 to 30, and that is equivalent to 7 band.
out of 40 MCQs, right? In IELTS listening. So this is really interesting thing. And what I was asking you guys and requesting you guys that nowadays try to affiliate yourself with this kind of the news, like go for Voice of America, go for CNN, go for the Trump current statements and declaration, and Elon Musk statements and other. And these are also, by the way, interesting too. I do not like this politics. I really hate politics, right? But if it concerns with listening, if it concerns with English, if it concerns with your improvement, and if it concerns with your understanding and knowing about little bit more about your current world situation that is a little bit miserable, right, in different countries, if you focus, so that different miserable situation and condition, if you make yourself aware along with that, if you do listen these listening activities, you will see the improvement in IELTS listening too. And not only in listening, you will rather, one plus point of listening is that you would this point has communicated by one of the greatest linguists recently, that when you listen, even if you don't speak, you should speak, but if you don't speak, your words, the phrases, the things, I mean, the idioms, the native tone, everything will be just fixed in your mind, and you will be able to say the same style in the same way, right? So this incline you are speaking to similar to native language speaker. So listening is very important. Do it for more time. If your level is whatever, do it for more time to incline it to, until you incline it to 35, 36 score. This is important for you. Now, secondly, so you should affiliate yourself with the different accent listenings. Train your ears with different English speaking, and you will see how much it becomes easy for you. Enhance your note taking skills. Practice writing key points while listening. This is very important. Like for example, these fill in the blanks question we take, table completion questions we take, these diagram related question we take, map solving question, even choosing options too. If you try to write the exact point, like while you listen, this moment, if you write code words or the keywords for yourself, this also increase your level in picking the information quickly. How? Because you listen and you write, you listen and you write some point, word, main idea, concept. This is a kind of exercise for your mind, right? As listening and reading, along with strategies and techniques, more are dependent on your way of approach towards the practice, right? I hope it is clear that the techniques and methodologies make it a little easier, but from proper source, your practice make it the easiest. Easier by techniques, the easiest third degree by your more practice from proper source, right? Not from the easiest source. Now, if somebody goes for only listening, watching movies, and see now my speaking and listening will okay, might be up to 6 band hardly. But if somebody goes for different sort of interactive kind of and informative kind of discussion, like social norms or whatever the news we call our podcast, right? So one I will play right now after within a while, right? Within few minutes. Now, by the way, so you should listen different kind of activity. Practice writing key points. This will also be helpful for you a lot. And just make a timetable for you that this 15, 20 minutes, 25 minutes I have to spend from now onwards, and this the target when you keep, so it will become more clear to you, and you'll be motivated for that, that my target is from that to increase my speaking fluency, to make it like more native, and to also make myself 100% understandable to the native accent. Expand your vocabulary, also very important. I would try my level best after the class to search the IELTS listening vocabulary for you. I recently shared on my any of the social side. So those words, you must understand the pronunciation of IELTS listening words. Those words which are randomly and again usable in IELTS listening, try to be familiar with those words. If you become familiar, so that also makes the listening easier for you. Now, similar, this technique is affiliated with the listening activity. If your listening is okay, if you understand British, American, and other accents easily, especially again British and American, so these two are more common. Now, then you will also understand the pronunciation, the exact way of utterance of other words, other whatever the new word is going to be listened by you. And then it will be understand, the easier it will be to understand the context. Learn synonym and paraphrasing technique. What does it mean? That when you listen any of the sentence or concept, try to think the same concept in English within your own mind. What and for what reason? Because in IELTS listening, when you go through the question from 1 to 40, all the questions concern with at different levels, like some 20%, some 90%, some 80% to be synonymized for you. Like instead of increase, incline, decrease, decline, right? Basic at the beginning level. Now, already previous, ancient, old. Now, the synonyms I told you few like this. Simplest one, the easiest one. Now, to make yourself much easy with that, to go through one go. Now, for that reason, you should, when you listen any of the podcast or even listening IELTS listening activity, try to paraphrase that in your mind. And by paraphrasing technique, what I mean, to think about those points, those ideas in English within your mind. It also makes the listening more easy for you. Next is listen to different audio types, use podcast, new channel, BBC Nera, and audiobooks. This is important for IELTS listening activity. Now let's go through this for 2 minutes.
Mitigated through proactive lifestyle choices. This article aims to explore the various dimensions of health, including physical, mental, and social well-being, while incorporating important vocabulary and expressions that IELTS learners will find beneficial for academic and professional purposes. In doing so, we will examine the significance of nutrition, physical activity, stress management, and other vital factors that contribute to a holistic approach to health.
Now,
All right, IELTS learners, let's break down this introduction step by step and highlight some key vocabulary and phrases that will boost your academic writing and speaking skills.
Great idea, David. Let's start with the first sentence. In today's fast-paced and ever-evolving society, maintaining a healthy lifestyle has become a topic of paramount importance.
Here, we have some excellent high-level vocabulary. Fast-paced. This describes a society that moves quickly, which is a useful adjective for discussing modern life. Ever-evolving. This means constantly changing and developing.
Now,
A great phrase.
from this, for instance, I shared in boys group before class. Now that's the same video. So if you go for this channel or others too, like BBC or CNN, this is what English podcast story. Elevate your IELTS bench score by simply listening to that. Now, this is actually important activity. Here you get also some of the phrases, some of the idioms they're telling you, they're teaching you, right? And here you also get the accent. And then later on, if you make yourself familiar with listening it with a little higher speed, it's 100% recommended for you guys. Why? Because when you understand and pick the information with a little higher, you easily understand the normal speed. Right? So at initial normal is okay. Later on, extend it to a little higher. Next, we see during the test, read the question before listening, quickly skim the question and then underline keyword. Keyword on the base of keyword on the with the help of keyword, you have to take out the you have to pick the exact information, the correct right option. This will help you predict the answers and stay focused. Next, we see identify keywords and paraphrasing, which we have gone through and we discussed. Answers are often in different words. Train yourself to recognize synonym and paraphrase sentences. Paraphrase sentences are synonyms, words. You must go through that. When I share IELTS listening vocabulary, try to go through that. Like little hard word, but if you go through that, so in IELTS listening, you will not face difficulty that what the synonym is used for the word. So you should also understand the concept too. Be aware of distractors. What does it mean? That IELTS listening, I told you before starting the class, I told you that in one option, when the exact words will be said by the speaker, it might be the wrong option. And now you see, IELTS often includes misleading information before giving the correct answer. So stay focused and don't write down the first thing you hear. That can be the wrong option. So be careful regarding picking or choosing the option directly. Next, focus on word limit. If 1 word or 2 words are required, focus on that and stick to that. If a question asks for no more than 2 words, follow the instructions. A single a is extra word. A single n is extra word. Use context to guess answer. If you miss a word, try to understand the overall meaning of the sentence to make an educated guess, right? So guessing is also okay, but this moment you have to also jump to the next question when you miss a single question. After each section, Check grammar and spelling, also important. Grammar and spelling, this is also important. When you focus on a single word, especially in fill in the blanks and the stable completion, or even map solving question, you have to also see the word, either it fits here or not. And also look and be very careful regarding spelling, right? A single word, if spelling is wrong, the option is wrong. No score. Your answers must be grammatically correct and spelled properly. So do learn, do remember spellings at least 5 to 10 a day. If you are even very good in that, just revise it. Transfer answers carefully. Now it is computer-based exam, so this technique is not required. Stay calm and don't panic. If you miss an answer, move on. Don't let one mistake affect that rest of your test. If one MCQs you miss, so just jump to the next. In computer-based exam right now, you will be given at the end 2 to 3 minutes, right? Not more than that. Before in paper-based exams, 10 extra minutes were to be given to the students to transfer the answer from question to answer sheet, right? But now in computer, but that's not a problem. You can use a piece of paper on the side of you. It will be given to you along with a pen. You can write the keywords for yourself and directly type it in the computer. But at the end, 2-3 minutes will be only given to check either something is wrong or right. Okay. Long-term improvement, practice active listening daily. Active listening daily is important. If you go through 1 day and 2 day and second, and then after 2-3 days you give a gap in IELTS listening, right? The two most important modules in IELTS exam is reading and speaking. That do not compromise a single day gap, 1 day. But if we talk about others too, those are also required, they also require practice on daily basis. Consistency in 4 module is important. So practice active listening for the best. But if there is a problem, still reading and speaking with your schedule or your activities, reading and speaking must be done on daily basis. Listening and writing must be done. If 1 day is missed, no problem. But you have to try your best. Watch English podcasts with subtitles like the audiobooks and other things. Take full practice test under exam conditions, simulate test condition to build stamina, right? So this is building stamina is also important sometimes in reading, writing, and listening. If you don't build your stamina, you can fed up of listening the test in exam hall. And you can directly why fed up? Because that moment, that day you will do 4 modules test. Now in IELTS computer-based exam, it's very hard to choose speaking test on a separate day even. On the same day your test will be taken and conducted, right? The speaking too. And other 3 modules will be definitely conducted on the same day. So you have to develop your stamina too, right? Sometimes students might be, of 6 band level, but they get 5.5 or sometimes 7 band level and 6.5. Now 0.5 or 1 band, if it is decreased, so it is really a bad thing and bad news. For this reason, also develop your stamina, especially with reading, writing, and this listening activity. Okay, so to do and to go in one go. Okay, next we are having a varieties of questions. We will go through that. By the way, I might play one IELTS listening and where we go through section number 1 right now only. Yeah, one option I will just discuss and then we will go through section number 1. Pay attention when speakers correct themselves. What does it mean? Sometimes speakers, especially regarding time, date, similar information, or sometimes speaker agree, disagree, such kind of information. Speakers say one thing and you think, oh, this is right. But speaker jump from one to another option. At that moment, that is the time where speaker changes his idea or concept from one thing to another. Now, this changing statement, you must be very aware of that and careful regarding listening. You should not directly jump and choose the right, that this is the option. No, just think, especially in choosing option question, right? And time or date time, right? So these things when the speaker will utter, so be very focused, be very attentive to that moment. It can be changed. Like for example, the speaker might say, it might be at 9 a.m. the meeting. Oh, sorry, let me check, confirm. And it's 9:15, right? So this is how you have to focus more on it. Okay, now we go through one listening activity. Here we go. And you guys have to help me in IELTS listening section number 1. IELTS listening, all tests are also available on that link of computer base. Most of the students will have it. Those who don't have it, so also not a problem. You can take. Okay.
Section 1. You will hear a woman phoning a hotel about holding a party there.
Now, IELTS listening section number 1, the target is 10 out of 10, right? Not 9 out of 10. Okay, because that's easy, and that's equivalent to 3.5 band. There's so much. 3.5, 10 out of 10, right? How so much? And remaining 30 questions, if you make correct 20, so easily you can get 7 band, right? So 3.5 must be gotten in this section number 1. By the way, inquiry about booking hotel room for event. So as we discussed earlier, that there will be 2 participants talking with each other regarding any social topic. Now this is social topic, and what they will talk on telephone. One will ask question, another will share information. Now Andrew is one person, right? For instance, and Andrew is the events manager, example, for example, and this person is going to ask about what? Inquiry about booking hotel room for event. There is an event, right? You have to think like this. This is called prediction. This is called making yourself, understood of what you have to listen, right? Now, event is going to be organized or happened. And for that event, there is a person going to ask any question regarding what? Booking hotel room. So booking hotel room questions will be asked. Number of people who can sit down to eat. So number of people will be discussed, any number. Let's suppose 3 or 4 or 5. Prediction is saying, can you go out and see the blank in pots and the terrace? Anything, object name or noun will be taken, name. So that can be seen in terrace at pots. Terrace has a view of a group of flowers or what? What kind of view is there? Calderon, number of people who can sit down to eat, has a 2, 1, 3, 4, how? View of the lake. Options, master of ceremonies can give a blank while people are eating. Can give any kind of like a suggestion or whatever. Will provide any extra facility, right? In hotel room or accommodation, in hotel room or house or where. So this is how you have to read MCQs. Actually, you have to underline the keywords. Like for example, first one keyword is number of people. Second word keyword is can go out see the anything in terrace. So terrace is the keyword, right? Third word keyword is third one. Terrace is a view of group of what? So these are the keywords. So in each MCQs you have to understand. Second, you have to underline the keywords. In computer based, you have to highlight it, right? On the piece of paper you can write it. Now we play it, and I hope you all will make the options correct.
First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 7.
Good morning, Clare House Hotel. Andrew speaking. I'm the events manager.
Andrew is the events manager. So events has been written in the space. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 7.
Good morning, Clare House Hotel. Andrew speaking. I'm the events manager.
Good morning, Andrew. My name's Samantha. I'm arranging a party for my parents' 50th wedding anniversary, and I'm ringing to ask about hiring a room sometime next September. Also, my parents and several of the guests will need accommodation.
Okay, I'm sure we can help you with that. Will you be having a sit-down meal or a buffet?
Probably a sit-down.
And do you know how many people there'll be?
Around 80, I think.
Well, we have 2 rooms that can hold that number. One is the Adelphi room. That can seat 85, or hold over 100 if people are standing for a buffet.
Right.
If you have live music, there's room for 4 or 5 musicians in the gallery, overlooking the room. Our guests usually appreciate the fact that the music can be loud enough for dancing, but not too loud for conversation.
Yes, I really don't like it when you can't talk.
Exactly. Now, the Adelphi room is at the back of the hotel, and there are French windows leading out onto the terrace. This has a beautiful display of pots of roses at that time of the year.
Which direction does it face?
Southwest. So that side of the hotel gets the sun in the afternoon and early evening.
Very nice.
From the terrace, you can see the area of trees within the grounds of the hotel. Or you can stroll through there to the river. That's on the far side, so it isn't visible from the hotel.
Okay.
Then another option is the Carlton Room. This is a bit bigger. It can hold up to 110 people. And it has the advantage of a stage, which is useful if you have any entertainment, or indeed a small band can fit onto it.
And can you go outside from the room?
No, the Carlton Room is on the first floor, but on one side the windows look out onto the lake.
Lovely. I think either of those rooms would be suitable.
Can I tell you about some of the options we offer in addition?
Please do.
As well as a meal, you can have an MC, a master of ceremonies, who'll be with you throughout the party.
What exactly is the MC's function? I suppose they make a speech during the meal, if we need one, do they?
That's right. All our MCs are trained as public speakers, so they can easily get people's attention. Many guests are glad to have someone who can make themselves heard above the chatter. And they're also your support. If anything goes wrong, the MC will deal with it, so you can relax.
Great. I'll need to ask you about food.
Right, guys, what was the option in question 1? How many people?
80 people.
80, 85?
85.
85,
80.
85. 85, listen it again, okay? 85. I was listening, book 14, 1. Can go out and see the
Roses.
yes, roses, good. And terrace has a view of group of
Trees.
trees. We predicted flowers, so trees. Okay, number 4 has a
Stage.
sorry,
Stage.
has a stage. Yes. And number 5 can give a
Party. MC.
Speech.
can
A
give
speech
speech.
during the
Yeah,
meal.
lady asked that there will be a kind of speech, so he said yes, right. And number 6,
Support.
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 Yes. I give you one assignment. IELTS book 14, listening test 1, 2, 3, 4. All test only section 1. You have to do, right? Only section 1, test 1, 2, 3, 4, and focus on the exact word. And if somebody is good, try to listen it with a little fast speed, right? Not normal. Incline the speed from normal to 1.25. Yet it was also in 1.25. So if you caught, so it is very good. 1.25, it was not normal. So also do it with 1.25, book number 14.